Okay. Well, I think we'll get started out of the interest of time and keeping everybody on schedule here, as we like to keep these to right about an hour. Welcome everybody today to our November version of our zones 25B and 29 public image webinars that we do monthly. Hope you've enjoyed these so far, and we'll keep it up. My name is Kyle Haugen. I'm our public image coordinator for the two zones, and welcome to COVID Central here at my house, where my wife, both kids, and I are all positive this week. So it's been fun dealing with that. And we have now a makeshift office where it's just a little bit quieter than our normal office here. So hopefully we'll keep my talking to a minimum today, so there's no hacking in everybody's ears like there has been pretty normally. But I'd like to share my screen here just to show you who's all on our public image team, because as I've mentioned at other webinars, it is a team, and we're here all to work together. And you see the 9 of us that are on the public image team. You'll meet several of them here throughout the call, as 3 of them are presenting. And then I know, not presenting, but Stephen Smutney, who is from the Chicagoland area, and Scott McLaughlin, who's from Nebraska, are on the call as well, as is Sean Berry, who's from up here in the Twin Cities area, and he's helping with our tech behind the scenes, because Sean is a whiz at that and just makes my life easier when he can do that. So you'll meet the rest of them as we go. As I've said before, we're excited about these webinars, as it's a way to have regular contact with all of you and to deliver information that's topical and useful. If we tried to do all of this at one time in one training at the beginning of the year, it's information overload. It just doesn't work that well. So this allows us to go deeper than that information dump on specific topics that you may be interested in, and more so meet you where you want to learn as well. If you don't want to be here, that's okay. It's an optional thing, but you can learn, and we can reach a greater audience as a result. Each month, our webinars will do a few things. We'll share an example of how public image working together with membership and the foundation increase our success in all areas. And then we can also, at times, we'll showcase best practices that someone in our zones are doing that you can borrow. And we'll have a deep dive on a particular topic. So here's a list of our upcoming webinars and the deep dives that we'll be doing in each of those months. And I'll send out a registration link in just a minute, just so you know who, or you can sign up for those now, because registration is live for those. A couple other announcements very quickly. Make sure you can go to our zone website, zones25b-29.org. And if you click on the public image tab, we have our public image resource library on our zone website. If you'd like other information in that resource library, please let us know, because we want to make that something useful that you can drive your fellow people in your districts to, and also your clubs to. So it's a kind of a one-stop shop for everything that's important. Along with that, our zone public image team is really here to help you. If you need us to assist with any idea generation, team meetings, training sessions, you name it, that's what our job is. And we're also trying to be as proactive as possible, reaching out to you, but we're not mind readers. So if you have a need, please reach out to us. And that's especially important here as we're in the middle of district conference and pets planning season. If you want us to be a part of things, let us know. We're happy to help plan or participate in any of your conferences or president-elect trainings, because again, the more we can talk about the importance of public image, and the more you can use an outside expert to do that, the more impactful we'll all be in Rotary. So before we get started in our topics, I'd like to mention just one other thing. We will have time for Q&A at the end, like we always do. So if you have a question along the way for any of our presenters, go ahead and just shoot me a message in the chat and I'll coordinate that at the end. Also, we're recording this session. So not only will we have the full recorded version of the webinar available in our research library, but each segment as well will have its own recording. So if there's one particular place you want to watch again, you can do that or send it out to other people in your club, district, whatever. We have some great things to discuss today, including a great example of how social media, or not social media, that's on the next line of this, of how club fundraising can help grow your club and engage your members, and also a deep dive into some social media tips and tricks. But first, I want to spend a couple minutes just talking about our Regional Public Image Awards program that we unveiled earlier this year. Now, some of you may have already heard this if you're either in the district governor line or are one of the district public image chairs, because we went through this at some of the summer training sessions, but it'll still be a good refresher. And I think it's a good tool for everyone else to be able to look at this, to utilize in your club, or if you don't know about it, you can utilize it there in any other way as well. So we're very excited about this awards program, and it's much more than just a competition to give awards for a job well done. It's here to act as a roadmap and a planning tool for districts to put strategies in place within their public image teams and throughout district leadership to increase the presence that you have within your community and your clubs. Also, it gives a foundation and focus for training activities, so everything can be geared towards the categories that are laid out within the program. Third, it'll recognize districts for a job well done. Everybody likes recognition. They like being told, good job. And I think this is a way that makes it objective and measurable as well, which removes favoritism and makes things more transparent. Over time, we'll be able to use what the districts did for their achievements and share them with everybody else, which is a great way to share ideas so we can learn from each other. And also it'll create a little bit of friendly competition between districts, and that never hurt anybody as long as it's friendly, because the more we all try to do to compete, well, the more we're doing for the good of Rotary and the good of people around the world. So doing all those things, certainly it leads to having some fun. And if you know any of us on our public image team, that's kind of what we're all about. So here's a quick overview of how it'll work. There are 7 categories, which you can see them across the screen. In each category, there are 5 activities, which we aren't going to get into those activities today, but right after I'm done here, we'll send a link to the awards page on the Zone website where you can see which each of those categories activities are. But basically what it does is it gives you 7 categories and 5 activities in each that your district public image team and district leadership can go, okay, these are the things we need to do in order to be successful. How is it measured? Well, at the end of the year, we're going to look at things, and if you get 3 activities in each of the categories complete, you'll receive the public image citation. If you get 4, well, it's with distinction then, because you did a better job than was just the baseline level. And the district that completes the most activities will be named the Regional Public Image District of the Year. So that'll be great as well. We're still working on a lot of the details of how we're going to submit thing,s but you'll have until June 30th next year to submit. So we'll ask that you'll be activities through June 30th. So we'll ask you to submit those probably by late July. And then the districts that achieve recognition levels will be honored at the 2022 Zone Institute here in Minneapolis. So that's a brief overview of the awards program. As I said, I'll share that link if Sean already hasn't in the chat. And hopefully your districts are using this to help plan your activities throughout the year. And you're more than welcome to tweak it for your club use too. It'll strengthen your public image activities and make your club more engaging for your members and the general public. So enough about that, but speaking of using club activities to engage the public and your members. Today, we're going to be having a quick example of how club fundraising activities can improve all aspects of a club. And here to share is Prior Lake, Minnesota Rotarian and past district governor Paul Perez to talk about Prior Lake Rotary's Lakefront Music Fest. Paul.
Thank you, Kyle. Good to see everyone. So when your club has events that are attracted to the public, does several things. First, the public fundraises for you instead of fundraising out of your members' pockets. No one likes that. Second, having engaging events really equates to more people knowing about your club and all the good that you do, since you have an audience right there to promote it to. And when that happens, it's a great way to identify and attract potential members. When you have exciting events, club members want to be a part of them. And when you have more buy-in from your members, they're willing to do more. Also, when you have successful fundraisers, that leads to more impact with the funds that you raise. So I'm going to start share my screen here, but before I do, I just wanted to mention that, get this right out here in front, that our logo for our event is not 100% compliant. And Kyle knows this, but it's something I've been working on for several years, and I'm still working on it, but it's a work in progress. So I'll get that out of the way. So here we go. There we go. So Prior Lake Rotary's Lakefront Music Fest has helped our club really move to another level in really everything that we do. And I've been a part of seeing that happen firsthand. Our music fest started with an idea from a club visioning session in late 2007. We wanted to create not only an event that could raise significant funds for our club, but have an event that the whole community could take part in and be a part of. Our first event, the Lakefront Jazz and Blues Fest, was in July of 2010. We had Grammy Award winner Johnny Lang as our headliner. We had about 7,000 to 8,000 people for this free family event, and we lost about $25,000, which is not unusual for a first-year event. So the next year, we did charge admission $5. We had Buddy Guy as our headliner, and had about 2/3 of the crowd from 2010, and we broke even. From there, our club really had a moment of introspection. Our members said that we were working way too hard not to make a profit. So we made several substantial changes. We added a second night to help mitigate any weather risks, and we changed our music genre to rock and country. And then we also incorporated local organizations as key nonprofit partners who would help us sell tickets and also provide needed volunteers, and then they would share in the profits. This formula was very successful. In 2012, we had a net profit of $125,000. In 2013, we doubled that to about $250,000. And then from 2014 to 2018, we typically netted $200,000 to $350,000. Along the way, we kept refining things. We also broadened our marketing plan to generate even more attention for the event. And our success just kept growing. We kept learning about more about how to put on a good-sized music fest. And we were smart with our funds. We didn't spend everything that we raised, but we put money away just in case we had a down year or we had a rain out. So for our 2019 Lakefront Music Fest, we wanted to do something special because it was our 10th year. And we also wanted to thank the community. So we brought in much bigger talent, and we knew that investing in substantial talent would increase our attendance as well. So we're excited when we had Rock and Roll Hall of Famers, Steve Miller Band, and Joan Jett and the Blackhearts for Rock Night and country superstar Brad Paisley for Country Night. And as you can imagine, the public really responded with great interest, and we were able to garner even more attention than normal through the media. So we had our best year ever. We had approximately 34,000 people attend our fest over the course of the 2 days. Taking advantage of this, we promoted Rotary in many ways. We had signage throughout the park, and we had MC announcements from the stage about Rotary and Polio Plus. On the video screens, we had invited people to check out websites for our club, the South Metro Networking Rotaract Club, which we are co-sponsor with, and then also RotaryMidwest.org, which is a landing page promoting Rotary and Rotaract clubs in districts 5960, 5950, and 5580 that encompass Minnesota, North Dakota, and parts of Wisconsin and Ontario. So each year we have tip jars that are placed throughout the venue, and these go to Polio Plus. So it's another touch point to promote our efforts, and we have announcements on stage throughout the event. The tips in the jars usually average 3,000 to 4,000, but in 2019 we raised about 12,000 for Polio Plus. We had about 1,000 volunteers that contributed about 5,000 hours of needed labor to put on the event. And that doesn't even include the Rotarians and all the hours they put into planning throughout the year and also executing the festival. And our total profit was approximately 540,000. If you more than double that, you have the most successful Lakefront Music Fest, which was this past year, 2021. And there's a screenshot from Friday night. And that's really because we had a stellar lineup again. We had 38 Special, Cheap Trick, and Sticks for Rock Night, and Jake Owens for Country Night. Unfortunately, Lady A had a last-minute cancellation for country, but it really did not significantly impact our success or the enjoyment of the attendees. And for Polio Plus, we raised over $23,000. And we added even more exposure to our club and Rotary this year. Here's some of the things we did. On the left there, those are A-frame signs. We purchased 5 of those, and we set those out at the park and ride lots for the people who took the bus into the park. So those were at each of those, and then at the main gates we had the retractable banners that we put up, and it really shows what the funds raised at our event, what it goes to on an annual basis. We work with the city purchasing the hardware to put the banners on the upper right there, and this was the first year we did that. So we're able to put a banner, and it goes a road right through town, so high exposure, and we'll get to put that up each year a few weeks before the event. And then down below in the lower right is one of the some of the 100 of Polio Plus jars that we put out. Following this year's event, we had even more interest for membership, and it's not a coincidence. There was more coverage, and we increased our presence about who we are and what we bring to the community and the world, and that's really piqued interest. Many of the new members have volunteered year after year, and they have already bought into what the event is and what our club does before they even join. This attitude from members about the Music Fest, it really permeates throughout the club. When we ask, what's your Rotary moment, a majority of the members say it's the Lakefront Music Fest. They're just in awe every year about what we are able to accomplish together and to see the incredible crowds in the park. That brings a pride factor. And for me personally, I was just a member of Rotary, but when I got involved with the Music Fest, it began my journey to becoming a Rotarian, and it really propelled my engagement. The Music Fest has helped turn a decent or above average Rotary club into a great one, and we've been very successful with engaging our members. Our membership in 2010 was 64 members. This year we inducted our 101st member. So not only do we have more members, but they're more engaged and do more within the club and beyond. We also have been involved in more service activities because you have more members, you have more ideas, more bodies to do more. We've also been able to give more to organizations and projects, and also we've done more district grants and global grants. But what I'm most proud about is how this event has not only elevated our club, but we've been able to help others, including other Rotary and Rotaract clubs who volunteer for our event to help fundraise for their own clubs. And with more funds raised, we're able to support more clubs with contributing to their district and global grants. And we really can't wait until next year. We've already got our headliners, and that's Toby Keith and then Sammy Hagar and the Circle. So we're only 332 days away from that. So a club doesn't have to do a fundraiser of this scale to engage its members and the public, but the key ingredients are really the same, and public image plays a vital role. When a club creates an event that is attractive and can be promoted to the public while being fun for the members to put on, success will come and the club becomes stronger as a result. Thank you.
Thanks, Paul, for sharing, and hopefully everybody was able to understand. Yeah, as Paul said there, and I'll steal the word a little bit, it doesn't have to be that size of an event, but having an event that the club members have fun with and that the community can get behind as well can further help a club increase their success in all kinds of ways. So Paul, there are a couple of questions that I'll ask at the end. If you can, I think you can stick around, so we'll be good there. But as a reminder, as I just said, we have time for some questions at the end. So if you have any questions, throw them in the chat box or send them right to me. I'm making a list of them and we'll go back through at the end. Now we'll move on to our deep dive for the day, which, this is a concept that we want to do here as a way to go deeper on a particular topic. Rather than try to tackle all the details at a training session in person, it allows us to spend more time on one subject without overloading people. And so today we're going to talk about the best ways to utilize social media for your clubs, districts, and events. And here to present are a few of our great assistant public image coordinators. In fact, it's the Texas contingent of our coordinators: Amber Scarborough, Xavier Tosin, and Patrick Harrison. Take it away.
Hey, y'all.
What's going on, everybody?
We are pumped to be here with you guys. Xavier, you there too? Say hi.
Woo woo. Hey, team.
I thought, just like Kyle said, being able to take this deep dive is a perfect opportunity, but I think one of the best things we can give you is also tools to take back to your districts to help you train your clubs and your district people. So I want you to know that these slides are going to be provided to you after as well on our website, on that zone website in the toolbox. So know that you will have access to these slides after we're done today. And I thought we'd get started with just a recap of that category 3. Kyle, I love that you showed us all 7 categories. I went ahead and just took a screenshot of category 3 so that you guys know what's in the social media category. Patrick or Xavier, y'all want to?
Well, first of all, I am just glad we're here, and I'm going to be shutting up this round as much as I can. But I will say this: everything you see here today has been tested and used for the last 5 years, so we know it works. So take this stuff back to your districts, take this stuff back to your clubs. It is helping clubs get social media reach and really have a successful social media campaigns and presence for their clubs and districts.
Absolutely. And I'll just add that, again, this is just an inexpensive way to get the message out to not only folks inside of the organization, but outside of the organization as well, and get them engaged. So happy learning.
Yeah. All right. So I'm not going to go through each of these categories. You guys have had a chance to see the slide. And again, they're going to be available to you on the zone as well. But these are the challenges that we've put forth to our districts. And again, we were wanting you to complete at least 3 of the 5, or hopefully all 5 of the 5 choices inside the category for social media. We thought we'd start with talking about the different types of social media platforms. And Xavier's going to take this.
Sure thing. So everyone's familiar with the largest platform out there. It's really in its own country. Billions of users use it. That is Facebook. You're going to find most of our members on Facebook. Now, what does that mean? That doesn't mean that, just because Rotary is 116 years old, that all the old people are on Facebook, but it kind of does, right? So most of our members will be on Facebook, and that's okay. You get a wide range of folks and demographics that may be on there. So most of your target audience is there. There are potential members, younger members that are on there as well. Hey, I'm on there, but I'm starting to creep over to the other side. So 35 is I wake up and my back hurts, so I'm on there too. All right, and it's great for engaging other partnership organizations. What does that mean? You have the United Way people on there. Just think people. Where are people at? And they're on there. And so it is its own country. It is large, and you can reach people around the world. LinkedIn is another great place to promote services that Rotary has to offer, or just Rotary clubs in general, and also some events that you may have coming up. In that particular audience, you're going to reach more business professionals. These are the people who, they work their corporate companies or their small businesses, and they're on LinkedIn because they're trying to engage and network with people, or get next to the who's who, like you guys on the call. It's a great place to promote your service to business leaders. You see success in regards to building out club pages, your Rotary club pages. You can build out on LinkedIn as well and increase a following there and promote your events and happenings on there as well. And it's also a great partnership for opportunities, right? And so again, a lot of, executive level individuals on there. Decision makers are on LinkedIn. So this is an avenue or place and platform you want to target those type of individuals. Twitter is great to tweet small lumps of information out to prospective members or prospective organizations that you want to align with. It's a quick blurb about what may be happening. Hey, we got a rock star show coming up. We want you to come out. Quick tag and maybe some images. And a great place to follow some interesting content. So you can follow some hashtags on there as well. Find out, what might be happening in your local community and how Rotary can tap into it, or how your club can become a part of it. There's a lot of good feed out there in the Twitterverse that you can find out some cool information. So check it out. Instagram. I love Instagram. That's where I'm spending most of my days. Like I said, I'm kind of on Facebook, kind of not on Facebook. So I'm leaning more towards Instagram and perhaps TikTok a little bit. I'm not all the way there, but we'll get to TikTok too. But Instagram, a lot of photos. Imagery drives people. They want to see what's happening. It's a quick way to get your message out there. It's going to go across people's feeds, and they're going to want to see what's happening. It has videos. It has reels. What are reels, you may be asking? You've heard of TikTok. It's short form video. You get to put a quick message out there about, something that may be happening, and it's engaging. And if you ask me, I probably spend an hour between 12 midnight and 1 a.m. on TikTok, just locked in. So I told Amber it was addicting. Don't do it. I'm warning against it. A much younger audience on Instagram and TikTok, but you get more engagement. People are more inclined to figure out what's happening with your organization and maybe want to even connect. I've started an organization platform on Instagram about 3 months ago. We have about 400 or 500 users on there, actively engaging. So it's a pretty cool deal. Nextdoor. I think everyone's probably seen Nextdoor on your, out in your local community. Your HOA may be involved on a Nextdoor platform. Your neighbors on Nextdoor. It's a great way, if you are community centric, your club is in a local community, to really engage people, your neighbors, your friends, etc. It's a great platform. A lot of people don't think about it. 9 times out of 10, you see people selling things like a garage sale, or someone lost a cat or a dog. But you can also promote Rotary. It's a great platform. Invite your neighbors as well. Meetup.com. I think everyone's probably heard of it, but Meetup.com is another way where people are looking to get involved with some centric topic type of groups or people, organizations. My wife and I ran a couples meetup. Basically, like-minded couples come together. We do a date night. We go out and have wine and cheese and bread and things like that. And it's just a great way to involve people who are cause based. So for our cause based clubs, Tom is very good at growing those clubs. Meetup is a platform that you can look to the community to find out where those particular groups are. I mentioned TikTok. It's not on here, but I will say TikTok is a platform that the Rotaractors may be on. They're going to be more inclined to use that platform. So if you're seeking Rotaractors or you're trying to create some creative content, TikTok is a platform for that. So any questions about any of these social media platforms? Have fun. I look forward to seeing your content and liking it.
Yeah, they're great on the back of that, Xavier, is to remember that we don't have to create our own content. And I know that that's one of our biggest headwinds for clubs is they don't know what to put out there. There's amazing content that Rotary International is putting out there for us. And all we have to do is click the share button, whether that be retweeting or share on Facebook or share on Instagram. And that's another thing. All of those on that previous slide, the things we're going to talk about going forward I'm going to use the word Facebook, but all of this translates between those platforms. They have a similar mechanism. You're going to still use the same hashtags and tagging. Those mechanics are going to translate between platforms. So forgive me if I just use the word Facebook, know that I'm talking about all of them. So here's a good resource of who to follow, just to be able to reshare great content instead of having to create them ourselves. And I think this is an important slide, especially to share with our clubs about getting more engagement. So one of the biggest headwinds we see when we go to clubs is, raise your hand in this club if you follow the club Facebook page, and you get like 4 or 5 people that raise their hand, right? The first place we need to start is our own clubs. Let's get our members engaged with our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn pages. And so one of the first things our clubs can do is make a campaign to go invite the members to like the page. You can invite by doing it on the page itself with those little 3 buttons next to the share and invite your friends. Or you can also go and copy the URL and put it into an email and email it out to the whole membership and say, hey, here's a link, click it, open it, and click like. So we can do that 2 different ways to start engaging our membership that we already have. Patrick, you want to talk about building better interactions?
If not, I'll jump in there.
Oh, good.
So, how do you want to build better interactions? Well, you want to include a call to action. How many times have you posted something out there on social media and nothing happened? Well, it's because you didn't ask. A call to action says join now. It says buy now. It says join us. You want to make sure that you give them something to do. Users are always looking for something to do. They may see a nice picture, but if there's no call to action, they simply won't engage. And so share now is a great example of that. You want to say comment below, right? So say, for instance, if you post something and you're asking a question, or you say, hey, check out this service project that I did the other day. Comment below if you like to see more of this, or comment below if you want to join us on our next service project. You're giving them that action. Also, correctly tagging people in pages. What does that mean? So sometimes you see those posts and you may get tagged in it, and you and 96 other people, and you're like, why am I getting tagged in this? The 80-20 works in all situations, right? So you want to make sure you're tagging people who are going to support it, right? And they can share with their audience, and then it multiplies. That way it doesn't look like you're tagging folks just for likes, but you're tagging them because you can see them as being an ambassador to whatever post that you're tagging them in. And you want to interact with other people's posts. If you don't show up to other people's, birthday parties, they're probably not going to show up to your birthday party. It's the same thing with social media. So if you're on social media a lot, or you can just go on there every now and then. And I'll just be honest and transparent. I'm not on Facebook every day, but maybe once a week I'll go in and I'll just like every post I see, and not just because I'm liking it, but if I see it and I like it, I'll like it. But I just want to make sure that I'm keeping up with people and they know that I support their dreams and goals and things of that nature as well. You also want to post at times that make sense for your audience. Look, you may want to post something at 12 o'clock at night because you thought of it. Nobody's on there at that time. Nobody's going to like it. And if you've been on social media as long as I've been on, it does matter how many likes you get. I don't care what you say. Everybody likes to see at least 5 likes on their post. So what do? You want to make sure that you're posting at 4 p.m. if you know everybody's getting off work around your time. If you know that most people are online between 6 and 8, maybe you want to post at that time. That way you get more engagement. And also encourage your club members to like, share, and comment on your club's, postings. So, encourage your club members. Hey, if you guys see a post, make sure you like it and share it, because we need to spread the message. We need to maximize this opportunity, especially when it comes to events and things of that nature. Any questions on how to build better interaction? All right, I'll check for it in the chat.
We are going to get into that tagging too that Xavier just referenced, because I think that's an important lesson we're going to give you guys to walk away with here today. But before we get into the tagging and the hashtagging, this was just something that we found to be really motivational for our clubs in our district in 5870. Was we went through and did an audit, and we went and saw how many followers each one of those clubs have. This is a couple of years old. I just took a screenshot of it. But then we published it. And then we, in a training session, we put it up there for everybody else to be able to see who's got more followers. And it really motivated the clubs to go out and increase their followers too. And it's an easy afternoon. Just go through the Facebook pages and fill out an Excel spreadsheet of who's got what likes. But that was a real fun and interactive way for clubs to get a little competitive with each other. And we want to share that idea. And then this one is normally what we start off with. We kind of brought it into the middle. But before we get into the actual art of posting, I think it's really important to remind everybody, it's not about what we're doing. And especially on social media, when we're putting content out, they don't care what we did. They care why we're doing it. So we need to make sure that we are phrasing our tone in our post and our content to make sure we're encapsulating the why. All right. So we'll dig straight into some examples of things to post that are great. Photos, videos, like Xavier said, reels, and we'll jump into those reels a little bit too in Q&A. I already feel them coming up. Whatever we're posting needs to be high quality, no fuzzy videos, needs to be relevant, needs to be something fun and shareable, and needs to be interactive. We want to see people doing stuff, not just the good old photo of us with our arms around each other in front of the check delivery, right? We want to see the why. What was the check going to? Make those photos high quality, relevant, and interactive.
This also goes, I'm back, by the way. Sorry.
Hi, there you are.
Lost my internet. I was like, Xavier's really frozen for a long time. So this also goes for Rotary International material. That's perfect, Xavier. You're going to trip me out. So the Rotary International material is getting better and better on a daily basis. Please don't post anything that looks like it was shot in the 1980s on the Dallas set. I mean, there is some stuff that's really bad out there that's still circulating. Try to pull that out of your districts and out of your clubs and put the new, really good, short to the point stuff. You're going to get more traction and reach.
Absolutely. This is, my dogs are going to start barking. Patrick, you might have, there we go. Photos. This is an important thing. Photos have names. And when we take a photo on our phone and then we go and post it from our phone directly on Facebook, it's named automatically JPEG 02345667, right? It's just a number and it makes no sense to Google. But if we will take 2 seconds and just save it on our computer and give it a real name, Rotary Arbor Day Tree Challenge, then those words are now searchable, even though they don't appear anywhere. They're in the background and the label of the photo. But it helps with SEO. So that's one little free trick when we want to get better reach, is to take the extra step of saving the photo and giving it a real name before we post it. The next one is that tagging that Xavier was referencing earlier. This is a great tool to get better reach when we are posting something onto Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all of the above. The way it works, Facebook is very smart. It knows that Kyle and I are already Facebook buddies. It knows that we're friends and that we do things together. So if I'm saying, here I am on Zoom with Kyle tonight, as soon as I get to the KYL, Facebook's automatically going to pull up Kyle's name because he knows I'm a buddy of his and allow me to tag him. But let me see. Tony, Lucas, and I don't think are friends yet on Facebook, but we will be after. If I wanted to tag Tony, Facebook's not going to automatically pull up her name for me. But if I use the @ symbol and then start typing in TONILUC, by the time I get to AS, it's going to find you. And it's going to allow me to tag you just because I use that @ symbol in front of your name. This is really powerful when we want to tag other organizations like Big Brothers Big Sisters or the rock stars that are at Paul's amazing concerts, right? When we want to start getting some really big reach by tagging organizations and people with big followings, it's a great tool to be able to allow us to get that greater reach.
And I think we have time for me to elaborate for 2 seconds, right?
Do it.
So Why is this important? If Sean and Kyle and I are doing a project together, and we all three have an average of 2,000 friends. So we're going to say that if Sean and Kyle and I do a project together, we might have 6,000 potential audience members in this post, right? That 6,000 potential people could see this post. But if you tag, like Amber was saying and Xavier was saying, we have an example here, Honeywell Aerospace, because maybe you did a project when Honeywell Aerospace came in and tried to teach something in the city of Chicago. You're going to tag, thank you, City of Chicago, for allowing us to be here today. It was wonderful to see Honeywell Aerospace along with Rotary Club of blah, 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 learning how to whatever with Oprah Winfrey. I'm just going to use this as an example. You have now taken your potential audience from 6,000 people from Sean, Kyle, and I to over, let's just say Chicago and Oprah alone have 1.6 million followers. There is a potential audience now of 1.6 million. Now, this is just real layman's term, but that's the simple equation of it. Here's another key. The reason why we have Honeywell here, Honeywell 41,000, Honeywell Aerospace 444, and Honeywell 436, etc. Now, when we do this, Amber and I usually focus about an hour and a half in our training to this alone, the whole social media. So we'll sit there and ask people, well, what's the one to do? And everybody looks because we've cheated and we've shown you. But most people make a mistake and they're in a hurry and they just want to tag quickly and they just find the first Honeywell and go with it. Make sure you find, because most corporations at the beginning, they have 3 or 4 sometimes pages, because once you create a page, you really can't get rid of it, if you will. So find the one that has the most reach, the most likes, and use that. But again, tagging is fun. Tagging is the key. And it really, what I like to say, and I don't mean it to be harsh, but if you're not tagging, and then we're going to get into hashtagging in a second, but if you're not tagging, you're wasting your time posting. You really are. And the last thing Amber likes to always bring up is thanks for tagging me in a Facebook post, but I'm going to untag myself. For some reason, whenever we're out on the road in Rotary, people like to take photos of me looking like I weigh 7,000 pounds. So I like to untag myself, but don't take offense to that. And that also goes with corporations or celebrities or whatever you're working with. Don't tag just to tag. It needs to be relevant to the point. But don't be offended if someone says, you know what, I really just can't be associated with this one post. I'm going to take it off. That's okay. Go ahead and tag away if it's appropriate and see what happens.
That I was going to mention that if you are tagged in something, you will get a notification saying you've been tagged in it. So people can choose to untag themselves, and it is okay. And we do like to give Patrick a hard time about untagging himself. So the next one is going to be hashtags. Hashtags are something I know a lot of you guys on this call, and you guys are social media monsters. You're already killing it a lot. But if you need to help explain this even to clubs or other people in your districts, hashtags are a really powerful way just to archive and put our posts in the correct folder on the whole World Wide Web. That's how we think about it. It's just creating a folder. So hashtag Rotary opens opportunities, or people of action. Let's use that one. Rotary people of action. If you go to Google right now and type in hashtag Rotary people of action, it's going to open that folder for you and put down every post that's ever been hashtagged with people of action. So it's a way to go back into that folder, pull it out, and take a look at it. In addition, those hashtagging and getting in the right folders and making those folders nice and fat also gives us some added SEO, that search engine optimization. So hashtagging is really an important part of posting. A couple of rules: no spaces, no punctuations. Capitalization does not matter. You can't own it. So make sure you research it first before you claim it as your club hashtag, and keep it brief. That's about all we're going to get into that.
And check real quickly. Also check and make sure that you're researching. One time, Amber and I were doing a talk somewhere, and there was this guy in the back of the crowd, and he went, "Oh no." Because as we were telling them to research, he went ahead and researched the hashtag his club is using, and it was associated with a business they don't want to be associated with. So make sure, because again, you can't own hashtags. Make sure you research the hashtag that you want to use. And then once you're using it a lot, like Amber's about to get into, we have 6. This is old, by the way. This is maybe a year or two old. We own One District Strong now, our district 5870. I mean, it's been used so many times by our district. There's not going to be another district that says, hey, let me start using that, because they're not going to get the ownership that they want. But Amber, take it away.
the cool thing about this, though, as district PR people, right, is the people in the district that are trying to keep up with what's happening, it's a great way to go in and see the posts that are happening in your district. Once you have a district hashtag, this is where we turn to at the end of the year to start building out our videos and accolades for the clubs. We just go to the Google, type in our hashtag, and everything comes up for us. It's like pulling out that folder, going, oh, let's include this video, this image, and building out our accolades at the end of the year.
And it took time for the clubs to get into it. You have to really, and all your trainings and every single conference, you have to say, guys, please use hashtag whatever it is for your district. And if your district does not, whoever's listening to this, if you do not have a district hashtag, that is something to start immediately today. Find something that works for you. We started this hashtag 5-6 years ago, and now you can type it into Google and you will see everything you want to know, not only about our district, but also in images. You'll see a bunch of images about our district. So it works. And another key, just to give it to you real quick, and I can feel Amber saying clock, is give it time. It takes time for a hashtag to start really gaining traction. Xavier's district, we encouraged them to get a hashtag. They got it 4 or 5 years ago. And our dear friend Jan was like, I don't know if it's working. And we said, well, hold on a second, give it about a year. Give it about a year, and it will start working. Of course they do. So it's all about more people posting and the time allotted.
We are getting really close to wrapping up, and we're going to try to make it here by 4:52, I think. But the art of posting brings it kind of all together. And this is just an example of that intuitive writing that we want to include both the hashtagging and tagging together. So excellent hashtag Zoom training tonight with fellow Rotarians at the district. Tag them. Really looking forward to learning more from at our membership chair about Rotary International. So we got Rotary International tagged. Membership on the next date, hashtag One District Strong, hashtag Service Above Self, and People of Action. And we've labeled our picture. That post is going to go out there and get a lot of reach that way because it's got all those moving parts coming together. Give me thumbs up if that's good information. All right, excellent. We have kind of made it into a nice little checklist as well. And I think everybody probably has seen this by now. It will also be part of the PowerPoint that's up there, but it's just a nice New Year Rotary checklist to supply your clubs and your district in to give them a head start on starting their year off. Make sure your website's been audited, that you got the new logos up there, your social media, that you have more than one admin. Don't forget about printed, like, share, and comment. So this will be included as well. And look at that.
Real quickly, I know we're almost done here. That checklist is something that the PEs now expect. And so we tell them, take this to your board immediately, right after pets, get going now because it starts your year off right. So that's a really great tool for your district. And you can add it and make it your own, whatever's specific to you guys. Maybe you need to get more clubs to have a Facebook page. I don't know where your districts are at. But that is a wonderful tool to be communicating and have a checklist for you and your club presidents.
I was really trying to go back to that checklist and I accidentally unshared. So no, well, sorry, I wasn't trying to cut you off on that one.
In all the years that I've been doing this now, whenever we're on Zoom, I've never been thrown off Zoom before. So that was a unique experience.
Well, it was a good one.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
So we did want to make sure we ended on time so we can do any Q&A, make sure that we're answering your questions today.
All right. Thanks, Amber and Patrick and Xavier. And I want to add one thing here. Rotary International has given us as a regional public image team goals for the year. And I want to share these with you real quick because this is important. 2 of them have to deal with social media. Number 2, use your social media channels to tell at least 3 stories each month about Rotary service projects. And then number 5, promote 3 stories per month in your social media channels about what your districts and clubs are doing during Rotary Days of Service. When you can encourage your clubs and encourage the rest of the people in your district to have consistent posting, consistent hashtags, consistency all over, we can all then go find those best stories to tell them to a wider audience as well, which is something that from our team perspective, we're supposed to be doing. So if your district has a hashtag, great, encourage your clubs to use it, but then tell us what it is as well. So we can go on and see what those are. So we can share what those clubs are doing as well. So it'll add to everything that can keep going. But thank you so much to the three of you again for talking about that stuff. I think it was very good information today and very useful. And again, we have this all being recorded, so if you want to go back and look at it, you can do that. Before we go into the Q&A part of things, and we'll keep that open till probably 5 after 5 or so, because I think there are some different questions. Wanted to remind you of a couple things. Number one being that we do have the registration for December, January, and February open. And I believe Sean is putting those, that's probably the December one, in the box right now. And we can go from there. And certainly whatever else you want to see as part of these webinars, be it deep dive content, be it tips and tricks of anything. If you have a best practice that you think other people would like to be able to borrow, let us know, because we really do want to make this as much as useful as possible. With that, I want to move to a couple questions, and I'm gonna. There were a couple for Paul on the Music Fest side of things that I know he's got to leave in about 5 minutes, so I'll answer those first, or ask those first, and then a couple to Amber and Patrick as well, because I know Xavier had to sneak off too. So Paul, one of the questions was, do any other clubs play a role in your music festival? That's part one. And then part two, how do you manage the challenge of members who resist sharing with other groups or other people?
Thanks for the question. The Prior Lake Rotary Club and its members, we're really the ones that operate the whole Music Fest, and we started from day one. So we don't really have any clubs sharing in operating, but we've had clubs that help with volunteer hours. So they work during, say, we set up on Thursday and then we clean up by Monday. So during that time, they can look for different volunteer opportunities for their members. And then we give, for the hours that they give for volunteering, we give them money. So I think we had 5 or 6 Rotary or Rotaract clubs that participated. Is that right, Kyle, last year?
I think it might be closer to like 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we share, they help us operate it during the event. But otherwise,
thank you so much for that.
Sure.
This is Lynn in Wisconsin. In fact, it is my club that I'm asking on behalf of.
Okay.
For many years, they've operated a brat stand outside of the football stadium. And as the club membership has aged, they're struggling for volunteers. And I said, well, why don't we let, other clubs volunteer? Oh, no, we couldn't do that. They'd want money for that. So we got a ways to go.
Yeah. And that's, as far as sharing that we're able to give this, I mean, we have great organizations within our community. And a lot of them we already give to for different things.
Oh, yeah.
So we're just sharing. I mean, that's why we do it. We don't do it to keep the money. We want to, share with others. And if they're volunteering, they're giving us their time. And we know they're going to do great things with the money that they get, because they're Rotary clubs, and Rotaract clubs. So we know. I mean,
Yeah, I think I've got a culture issue that I've got to deal with. So, but thank you. You've given me a model that I can share.
Great question.
And just to build on that, I think along with those Rotary clubs, I think there were 27 organizations that received like $45,000 this year. That volunteered as part of things, which makes it more fun for them too. Let's see.
Can I add one thing? Can I add real quick one thing to that, Lynn?
Sure.
Our district created the One District Strong hashtag to get that mindset out of our district. We are not in competition in Rotary. If your club needs help, my club helps you because it helps Rotary in general, and also helps membership and foundation giving, etc. So we as Rotarians all around, no matter if you're doing a festival or you're just trying to help clean up a park, we all need to come together to help each other. This is no longer Rotary, my club is better than your club. So that One District Strong hashtag really has helped our district to partner. We have clubs that partner 3, 4, 5, 6 deep now on big and small projects. So I just wanted to say that to maybe give you a little bit more motivation.
I'm motivated. I mean, I'm new in the district, and so I'm coming in going, what? And so, as I get some traction, I'll be able to insert these radical ideas.
And Lynn, we're happy, speaking from Paul and I's standpoint, we're happy to chat with the club too about that. Paul, it's 4:57. You said you had to leave at 4:57, so I'll say goodbye to you.
Yes,
and we're going to go over to Hunter. Had a question about the reels and using reels and what might that look like. And Amber, I'll let you take that away, and then we'll come back to a Music Fest question at the end of it as well.
Yeah, I'm glad. I wanted to make sure we addressed that, and I meant to do it during, but reels are just really short. Think of them that way. Videos. And I think it's really important, and I should have mentioned it before, when we're posting stuff on Facebook, videos specifically, we do not have the attention span we used to have. It cannot be a minute long telling your story about what you're doing. Nobody cares. It needs to be 15 seconds of why you did it. We've got to learn to condense these and make them shorter. And there's a really important reason. Patrick, give us the numbers on how many times you used to have to see something from branding.
So back in the day, it used to be like, and some of you are advertising professionals here. So back in the day, it was maybe 4 times seeing a print ad or a billboard. Now it's, and this was a couple of years ago, I've not been updated 40 times, 40 plus times. And that's because we're distracted. And I want to say, just to add to what Amber's saying, 15, 20 seconds. I like to say you can go up to 30, but she likes to go 15. But either way,
I'm always 15, trying to keep
20,
Patrick shorter.
I know. 15, 20, 30 seconds with the why, with the call to action to go to the website to read all you want or watch a 20-minute video. You can make a 20-minute video for anybody that wants to watch it on YouTube, but you've got to promote it with the shortest to the point with a call to action.
Yes. And so that's
a reel also. Oh, sorry, go ahead. That's
the reason these reels and TikToks and Instagram are so popular with the younger crowd. They really are just data dumping constantly. They can go through that phone and watch 100 of those back to back, like Xavier said, in an hour. So we want to give them the content the way they're digesting it, which is fast and to the point.
And reels are creative. Get creative. Go on TikTok, Snapchat, all these boomerang things, and find something really eye-catching immediately. Get it out there, and people will start paying attention to your page more.
Absolutely. And then I want to make sure I don't miss Tom Gump's ask for making sure we're talking about how this intersects with membership. It's all about membership, right? It's everything we do in public image is to support giving this amazing opportunity that we've all been given as Rotarians to other people. And sharing our service. So I love that. And it's all about it.
Demetrius, what's up?
Yeah.
What's up, Demetrius?
It certainly is. Everything that we do in public image is to further engage people so they're more willing to give their time, energy, talents, money to Rotary, either as new members or current members. And so the more we can tell people what we do, the more engaged they're going to be with the organization, which means they're more likely to join, they're more likely to stay, they're more likely to invite others, and they're more likely to give to the Rotary Foundation. So that's how those intersect, and certainly the foundation as well. I'm going to go back to Lynn. You had one other question on the Music Fest, or a comment there, seeing the pictures of the crowd after the Houston concert. That's a bit unnerving, and I can touch on that a little bit as well. We don't have 50,000 people there. There's about 18,000 people a night, which is a much smaller crowd, and certainly we are in year-round partnership with the local police department, fire department, and emergency services from both the county, and we have a Native American reservation here in Prior Lake that has a great emergency services department that helps us as well. So always talking about how we can do things safely. In that picture, because it was at night, and what you couldn't see is that from about 50 yards from stage back, those people were all seated in rows in their folding chairs or on blankets. The other thing that's up front, if you think the stage, you got the front of the stage, here, the top of my shirt, going out towards the front of house, one side of that is all VIP. So that is a more intimate environment with only about 1,000 people in it. The other side, it does get a little crowded in there. And this past year, it did get a little shovey. It got a little scary at times. One of the nights, the MC between acts basically said, I'm not continuing until you all take a breath, take a step back, things like that. Now, what are we doing to even change that next year? We've proactively said, well, let's add more of a pit up there that can only fit 1,000 people, upcharge them, because if they want us to pay that. But now you have another barricade in there too, that only so many people are in one place, so you don't have the crush of the whole crowd pushing up against them. So it's things like that we're thinking about a lot. And frankly too, we've been very thoughtful in the type of acts we bring in as well. Classic rock and country, we know they're going to drink beer and they're going to come, but they're not going to be overly rowdy. It's not a heavy metal crowd. It's not even when we've booked younger acts, we see more issues. So trying to keep in that 35 to 50-year-old age target where people you would hope are a little bit more reasonable. Does that mean it's going to be none of that? No. Like I said, last year, that crowd was swaying up front, and that was a little spooky. But we're taking steps to limit the amount of that and planning in advance just to make sure of it all. So that's just since it's also my club, and that's been one of those. I've been holding on to this one to use as an example if we didn't have a good best practice one month to use. So we have some good ones coming, but they couldn't be here today. So that's why we shared that one. But I hope that answers the question, just as some of those things. And it's like anything else in Rotary, the more we can think about things, be it a social media plan or a Music Fest safety plan, the more you plan and the more you execute that plan, the more success you're going to have. And people are going to be safer and more people are going to know about us. Patrick?
I think you make a good point, Kyle. If you're thinking, whoever's listening to this, either here or in a recording, if you're thinking of doing something from a larger scale, like Prior Lakes does in the community, or anything that's community based, please make sure you know what you know and what you don't know, and go find professionals that are going to help you, because we are all working towards making Rotary. Well, first of all, Rotary we don't have to make Rotary anything. It's the best organization on the planet, but we're trying to make community members know that we are what we are. So every time you go out into the community, make sure you have your best foot forward, you're professional, and you have professional teams helping you execute things flawlessly. So I just wanted to add that to what Kyle said.
Thanks, Patrick. Anybody else have any other questions or anything? I think we're at that 5:05 mark that I said we'd try to end by. If I don't see any, Sean or Scott as the other two assistant coordinators on here, any comments from either of your ends at all? Perfect. I see nods. Well, then I thank you all very much for being here again today, and join us. Make sure to join us next month, because, well, we're not going to learn much in that one, but we're going to have a lot of fun. And that's all I can say, because I have tasked, a lot of our assistants volunteered to coordinate our holiday party. And I don't want to know. I'm just going to turn it over to them at the beginning. I'm going to say hi and let them go. And oh boy, we'll see what happens. So make sure to come back on the 16th for some fun and just getting to know people from around our zones as we keep trying to make Rotary better. So thanks everybody, and have a good rest of the week, and have a good Thanksgiving too.